Viewers, ladies and gentlemen, 8 years ago, Oballa moved to the United States of America with no high school diploma, but with big dreams and visions. And now, fast forward to the present, he's Austin's First Ward Councilman, who has recently had the opportunity of meeting with President Joe Biden, and he's today my guest in this edition of Addis Dialogue. We'll be spending some time talking about current issues unfolding here in Ethiopia, and do stay with us. Oballa, a very warm welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the opportunity that the EBC give me to have you in your studio, to have me in your studio.
Absolutely. 8 years ago, on December the 3rd, to be exact, you arrived in the United States of America from the Dadaab refugee camp from Kenya, right?
Yes.
With nothing, apart from your clothing and shoes, fleeing a genocide in Gambela, which was caused by the TPLF regime. I'm sure it is still vivid in your mind now. What was the first thing that came to your mind when you left your beloved country and arrived in the United States of America?
Well, thank you very much. That's a really good question. I left Ethiopia when I was very young and spent all my half life in refugee camp. And every day I would tell my mom, let's go. When will we go back to Ethiopia, our country, Gambela? And one thing my mom know is that if we go back at this situation, you're the target, you're a male, you're growing as a young man, so you either will die. So it's good to stay here in a refugee camp where we are starving. So the whole 10 years in a refugee camp, every question I ask my mom, when will we go back? So the hope is either we go back to Ethiopia or we go to abroad, which is America or any European country. So it's still vividing. And the first day I arrived in America, that was a life-changing.
And now fast forward to the present. Now you are Austin's First Ward Councilman, right? Who has recently had the opportunity of a meeting with President Joe Biden. Tell me a little bit about what you two discussed and what you told him, the president.
Well, since I moved to America, the biggest dream is that one day I will be successful, even though when I moved to this country, I didn't have anything. So those dreams is still alive. And since I become a city council, I've been working really hard and also, making sure my city is represented. And I kind of get a little national attention. So this week was kind of something that historical, because I heard the president will be coming to Minnesota, but I wasn't expecting that a kid like me in a small town in Austin will have the opportunity to be in the same room with the president, especially with an invite that said the Minnesota state system would like you to be part of this, and also the governor office. So, and I get a call, and after that, they asked me, hey, the president is coming tomorrow and we have a spot for you. Are you available? So I'm like, the president of the United States, I am available. So and the next morning, I went there and it was amazing being in a room with the president. So, and that was life-changing. That's once a time in a life, because it's very difficult to be in the same room with the president.
Indeed. And what exactly did you tell him? Did you have the chance of sharing the trauma, the challenges that you experienced under the TPLF regime?
Well, yeah. So basically, what my biggest hope before was when he's done with his speech, because he was talking about bipartisan infrastructure bill that is announcing in Minnesota and how that will be working. So when he's done, I hope we will get opportunity to ask questions, but that didn't happen. But after that, the president had the opportunity to walk around and greet everyone. So when he started going around, I had the opportunity to go in the line. So, and after that he passed, and I thought he will not come back to me. And then I got encouraged by the governor, who was like, go in the line, your city council. So I went in the line, I get his attention, and I called Mr. President, thank you for coming to Minnesota. And then after that, he faced me. And then when he faced me, and he asked me, what's your name? And I told him my name is Oballa Oballa, and I'm a city council in Austin. And
Hmm.
he thought that Austin, because we have two Austin here, he said Austin,
Oh.
Texas. I said no, Austin, Minnesota. So, and that was how the conversation started. And after that, I was able to tell him I I'm so grateful to be in America, and also because I am a survivor of a genocide that happened in my country, Gambela, Ethiopia. And after that, his face reaction changed completely, and he keep coming forward to listen more, because there's a crowd. And then I went forward to, and I described that how brutal what happened in Gambela that day. And even though I am in one of the greatest country now, people in Ethiopia are still suffering
Mhm.
due to conflict that's going on, and I hope the American will take attention. So with
Hmm.
that, the president uh, felt sorry, and he said, "I'm sorry for what happened to your tribe, and I hope thing will be good one day." So that's all what he told me. So he didn't have a specific thing, but he just said he's sorry because of my story of what happened to me. And after
Hmm.
that, he asked me if we could take some selfie.
Hmm. Okay. Now, Obala, American policy on Africa is influenced by a few individuals. Many say this is the root cause for the diverse issues affecting the ties between Africa and the United States of America, between Ethiopia and the US. As a councilman, what roles are you playing or are you planning to play to bring about structural policy change on Africa in the future?
That's really a very good question. And to be honest, how America policy work is very different and is very complex.
Hmm.
When we look into it, those are federal issues. So for a city like Austin, we don't have much power to say in those issues. But we have the opportunity, any citizen in America, you have the opportunity to call your Congress, man, you have the opportunity to call your Senate and say with them, hey, there's a bill in the House that are talking about this specific policy. I would like you to look into it. So they either have to favor it, or they have to oppose it. So as a city council, I am in that position because I only focus on the city of Austin. But if there is issue that affecting the people, the citizen, the resident of America, we have to call our senator. We have to have a meeting with them and then talk about that. So with me specific, I don't have a bigger power. What I can say that will change in those policy in the federal, because they are out of my control. But as a citizen, what I can do is to look, research, and see what's going on, because I will not keep track of everything that happening in the federal or also in the Senate. So it's good to just be informed and focus and talk to your Senate with that.
The Biden administration is putting undue pressure on Ethiopia to the point of affecting the age-long ties between Ethiopia and the United States of America. What is your message to fellow Ethiopian Americans to bring about policy change concerning U.S. Africa and U.S. Ethiopia relationship?
I think the relationship of America and Ethiopia been there for centuries, for more than 100 years, and Ethiopia has a very tight relationship with America, and Ethiopian has helped America in so many ways, fighting with terrorists and other in the region. So the relationship is still there, and me as American citizen and also Ethiopian American, my only message to Ethiopian in diaspora is that use your voice by sending letters to your congressman, sending letters to your state senator, so that they look into what's happening in Ethiopia. Because at the end, every bill is being brought up by one person. It's an idea being brought out by one person and then supported by so many people. When Ethiopians see something that is affecting their homeland, which is their native country, they supposed to speak up by sending letters, making appointment to the congresswoman, making an appointment to the congressman, and that's how you make change in those bills. So that's the only way we can do, because the politics in America is very democracy, and it's up to the people to listen and also move forward, either removing those bills or moving forward with those bills.
Also, recently Ethiopians are saying no more to territorial infringement, foreign meddling, and false propaganda, erroneous media narratives, and the last. We're also seeing silencing of voices by huge media platforms such as Twitter. What are some of your observations as an American in this regard, as an Ethiopian, also as an American, and what will your roles be here?
My role is to speak up for Ethiopia. My role as an American citizen and also a councilman is to speak up for the truth. I have to speak up for the truth, and standing with the government at this time, I think is the correct action. And this is my personal, because I'm not a fully American without Ethiopia. So I have to accept that. And so because my background started in Ethiopia, so I have to stand up for what is right. And because this is what I felt like, because I may have different opinion with other people. So I felt that government is right at this time for not having, making sure that every Ethiopian, their voice is heard. But at the same time, when it comes to Western media, is something that everyone can play a role in that, but like recently, because those social media is individual, is not held by the government. So it's individual private business. So is the best thing to do is talk to those individuals, send letters to those individuals, call them, be like, this is what happening, like what we saw, the person who's behind Twitter is someone who is not happy with what the government is doing, and that way they're blocking all those stuff. So when people speak up, it's being revealed, and that's how the thing goes. So for me, it's just to speak up in whatever avenue I am, and share my voice and share the truth.
Okay. Now, Western media outlets are nowadays also changing their narrative now as if genocide is being committed in Ethiopia. Is there anything that you've observed here? What have you observed here in this regard?
Well, I've been following with the news in Ethiopia, even though I don't know what's going on in the battlefield. But I have my relative in Gambela, Ethiopia. I have my relative in Addis Ababa. I have my relative somewhere studying in different part of Ethiopia. So, and what I'm seeing is that some of the news media, they are only saying one part of story. It's like you're in a studio now, and if every time the only person that coming to you is telling their own part of the story, that's what you will do, because what I'm telling you now is what I know. That's what you represent to the audience. So I felt like the people who have been going to those Western media, they're only saying what is benefiting them, and this is what affecting Ethiopia. So it's good, instead of just saying no more to this, it's good to have a discussion with those news media and be like, okay, can you listen to the part of our story? So because, for example, like CNN, if they're not representing something real, because I watch some of the news which is not accurate, and it's good for some people to go and say, hey, we have this part of the story, why don't you share this? And then when they hear it, they can see and get a different story. So it's not something that we can standing by next to the building and just waving and say no more to this, no more to this. That will not solve anything. But we need to have a very good dialogue with them, sit down with them, share our part, and overall, we should not even depend on them, because it's up to Ethiopian how they react to everything what is happening. Every Ethiopian, if they feel like the right way to do is to stand up for the government, we have all sort of solving problems. So the bullet will not be the only issue. I don't want any more people dying in Amara region. I don't need any people dying in Oromo region. I don't need any people dying in Tigray region. It's high time for Ethiopian to wake up and say, this is our differences. We have to put the gun down and start having dialogue and having reconciliation. It's either from the side of TPLF and also the side of the government, because I believe at this point the government want to talk, and also some of the people in Tigray region, they want to talk, because this is something that the fight Ethiopia is fighting right now is not against the Tigrayan people, is the fight against the people who are in power, those who have been misusing the resources, those who have been blinding everyone. Even some of the Tigrayan kids, they're not benefiting from this war. They're being used, and their parents, they're just there. And all those big people in those offices, their children, they're abroad here. Their children, they're in UK. Their children in Canada. Their children in France. But they're sending some kids who don't know about anything. So it's high time for every Ethiopian to stand up and the government to listen to those innocent Tigrayan who are being used, and let them know that, and let them realize this fight need to stop. So, and whoever who is behind the TPLF, they should realize that Ethiopia is bigger than them. Because at the end, without TPLF, without Dr. Abiy, Ethiopia will still exist.
Finally, I heard that insurgents have recently formed 9 rebel factions, among whom are people who praise TPLF for their leadership. Meanwhile, it was the TPLF regime, as you know, that killed many people in the state of Gambela. And this has outraged the majority in many communities, both in the diaspora and here, their homeland. What are some of your observations in this regard?
I laugh, but at the end, it is everyone, when a war, or if there's some disagreement within the government and the government is trying to reshape, everyone will have a bright idea. Everyone will come up, be like, okay, I need to be the right person to be in this. So, and we have seen, and in most of the region, we have seen everyone, people volunteer themselves. Hey, I'm representing this part. You take 5 people, 3 people, and say, I'm joining this coalition. But at the end, those are the things that we don't focus on, because the Western media and also the TPLF group, they're trying to divide Ethiopia and saying that, out of those 110 million Ethiopian, some of them don't agree with the government. So those individuals, those who join, congratulations to them. But at the end, those are just few words and being bribed by the TPLF so that they can say something and say that we are part of this. But at the end, they're not doing anything. They're just making the country to look more bad.
Well, Councilman Oballa Oballa, thank you so much for your time and for your ideas, and I wish you success in your job.
Thank you so much, and I wish all the best in the country. And I will end with this: Ethiopia, it's been a great nation, and Ethiopia will continue to be a great nation. And for people in diaspora, I would like everyone to advocate for peace. We want peace in every region in Ethiopia, either in Afar, either in Oromo, either in Walaita, all those, Sadama, which is the new region coming in soon, and all those areas. We need peace in every Ethiopian. Every Ethiopian should be proud of themselves by sharing their diversity and sharing their unique culture and sharing their historical heritage that Ethiopia have instilled. And I hope this peace will come soon. And I hope we will put the gun down, and we can come on the table and talk as Ethiopian and solve our problem as Ethiopian. So with that, I hope everyone will have peace and Ethiopia will prevail.
Indeed. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, dear viewers, with that, we come to the end of today's program. Many thanks for your company so far. Until I see you next time with another program, it's goodbye from me, Shipara Olako.